Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the 2021 Ford Explorer ST. Super hot SUV right now, at least on our end. Now the 21's not too different than the 20s, but the big difference for the 20s was of course the new generation. So redesigned from the ground up, all the panels, bobs, everything is totally new. Rear wheel drive truck architecture, and then these STs will have a twin turbo V6 with a all-wheel drive setup that's always monitoring the road, making adjustments. I mean, you feel glued to the road. Very confidence inspiring SUV. You feel like a badass. You have awesome 21-inch wheels and tires. And then that's right, as far as your tires, I'm seeing some Scorpion Zeros. There's some Pirellis. Color-wise, this is, let's see if I can get it looking nice here. The color is Star White, which is like a tri-coat white. It's beautiful. And this ST happens to be pretty much loaded to the brim. So I'm kind of doing a walk around here. So not many options this won't have. Obviously ST2 package, so they'll have the red calipers with those gloss back wheels. All the STs, if you're looking in the back here, they'll all have the exhaust, the quad exhaust in the back. Just kind of looking at the rear here. Really sharp looking truck from the back. And then also in the back of these you'll get the receiver. So there's a receiver built in, and you can tow, I want to say, close to 6,000 pounds. I think it's rated at 5,500 pounds for these STs. And the STs will also have the little badge on the back. That's your little cheat code. But I think they already look aggressive enough from the exterior that you should be able to tell this is an ST. Doing just a once over on the outside, and then we're going to pop in on the interior. And as far as the interior, first thing we'll do is we'll check out the trunk. So we're going to go over to the trunk now. Looking at our key fob, you'll see we have on the back a little ST logo, if you can see that. And then you have a unlock at the top, lock ×2, that's the remote start. And you have another ×2 button, that's to release the hatch in the back. All Explorers will have 3 rows of seating. I'm going to have to bump this up. So they'll all have 3 rows of seating. And with the STs, because they're kind of like high up on the food chain for the Ford trim levels, you'll have these buttons on the left or the right hand side of the trunk. You have L, which is left, right, alt, right, and then L and R will control both your left and right seats at the same time. And you see they come up there electronically, up and down. You also have this little cargo area, management area here, because this is a little bit different than the previous gen, and you can actually lift out and place in these little things, kind of making a little barrier of sorts, a little cubby. And you can lift this up. There's a little cargo mat already, and I can actually physically take this whole piece out and rest it under here in the trunk if I needed maybe more space in the trunk. Now looking at the trunk size with the seats folded down, also super easy up and down. And you can fold those second row seats down as well. You'll notice you have AC vents along the top. As I struggle to get in focus, this even has the dual panoramic sunroof, so the AC vents will run along the sides of the roof. And check out the second row before hopping up front. And we look inside here. Ford did an incredible job as far as like the interiors with these guys go. You know, the leather feels great. The stitching is good. I mean, not to mention they just drive really great. Power outlet in the back, so that right flap is going to be a 110 full power outlet, and then you also have if I can get that, a USB-C as well as a regular USB. You have some AC controls for fan speed and temperature, as well as directional for the AC. Now I'm just kind of cut for time here, so bump this back. All the Explorers will have a keyless entry, so you have the 5-digit keypad on the side of the door. It's kind of hidden in it right here. This is gonna be really hard to pick up. Right in here, so there's a 5-digit code you can lock and unlock. And that's with all four. It's really cool if you start getting used to that. And then of course you have the keyless entry stuff where you can walk up to the door, unlock it. Now I'm going to look at the side here and the trim and stuff. You have, come on John, get in focus. You have the memory seats, 3 levels. Just all this stuff is just completely different than the previous generation. Just a lot nicer. Your light controls here. You can kind of see like the faux carbon finish. Also electric steering wheel adjustments. You can see the pedals down there. A little bit different. The gas pedal is like fixed on the floor. I don't really remember another vehicle I've seen that in. And then your pull handle ×2. Just kind of, I don't know, it kind of feels cool. Inside these, you'll notice you got the Bang & Olufsen sound system. So that's a 14-speaker sound system. Really incredible stuff there. And just interior, everything is just really freaking nice in these guys. So I'm going to just turn it on. You got the push button right there, so you put it on, your steering wheel moves, all the screens kind of turn on. You'll see kind of your standard display right here. And you can cycle in between. See, I'm on my steering wheel here. And you can cycle in between different kind of views and stuff up here. Fairly cool. On the steering wheel, there's a menu button. Back, you have some phone controls on the right side. This actually has like every safety feature under the sun, so that's your controls for adaptive cruise control right here. So this can speed up and slow down depending on the drivers in front of you. Wicked, really wicked feature. Not quite like Tesla, but you know, getting there. And then if you can kind of see behind the steering wheel, there's that little car with the lines. That's a lane keeping. So if you drift in and out of your lanes and you're going over 40 miles an hour, the steering wheel is actually going to vibrate and nudge you back. Moving over to the whole center console here, the center stack area. God, it's just so much better than before. Not even that before was that bad, but this is just, it just feels light years ahead. So you can turn on and off your parking sensors from here. You have your hazard control. This is your camera button, so you press that, you can get a live feed of different camera angles. And I can press these different buttons on the screen to pull up different cameras. I press that, that's a front 180 camera. The little car icon, there's actually a halo of sensors around the car. So if you were pulling up to something or something was getting close to you, you'd actually see directionally where the object was coming from, and then also a color icon for how close it's getting. So that is very useful. All these STs, they're really kind of like bougie there in the trim level, so they'll have the air conditioned seats, of course dual zone power control, and I mean just all this stuff very, I mean, you know, I like my buttons. These are good buttons. You know, they feel good. Under this flap in here, kind of hard to see. Bump up the ISO even more. you have a USB-C and a regular USB and a 12-volt outlet. And then if you're looking for your wireless charger, that's actually hiding from you under this armrest right there. And furthermore, you have a rotary dial shifter now with these Explorers, which isn't bad. I got a lot of people that complain about it. Works the same as a regular one. The added stuff here, I'm gonna kind of explain now. So the P, you put your foot on the brake. This is just an electronic parking brake. So you pull that up, and you'll kind of see up here your electronic parking brake is engaged. Come on, focus. Well, just trust me. And you put it back, and it's gone. This button right here is a hold brake. Semi-luxury feature. I say it's semi-luxury, but people laugh at me when I say that. They're like, I've had that for years. But the car actually, when you're in drive and you're completely stopped, as we are now, I can take my foot off the brake and the car doesn't idle forward. It holds the brake. It's a hold brake. Really cool for stop and go traffic, red lights and stuff like that. All you need is gas pedal. And then right here, what is this? This is your drive mode selector. Right in the middle. Really satisfying clicks with these. You'll start in economy, or you'll start in normal, and then you have slippery, trail, deep snow and sand, and then you can go all the way back. You have economy, sport, and then tow haul. And basically all these modes will change, not only like the displays and stuff. So if I leave it on economy, you'll see kind of it'll change the display, you know, a little bit more lighter and stuff. And then if you go to sport, it'll probably be like red, you know. And it all looks cool. The gauges will look a little bit more aggressive as they do, and it just it transforms the cabin a little bit. So I definitely like that stuff. I definitely like the car in general. I was daydreaming about getting one of these pre-owned like a couple of years ago. They're really, really freaking nice. Furthermore, on here you have the P with the steering wheel. That's you have self-parking, so you can press this button. This actually can do parallel, perpendicular parking, and you have some options down here you can kind of select. And you'll kind of drive by a spot, and it'll say, I found a spot, and then the car will say stop, and you'll see the steering wheel kind of like Houdini and move, and then you're fucking parking. It's really incredible. You have to have other objects around you, so that's kind of the weird thing. If you don't have other objects around you, it's really not going to find anything. This screen up here, I might need to do a whole separate video on, but it is, Ford's new sync thing, and it works really well. Super responsive. You're not fighting this interface. Navigation is built in, and yeah, it just works really well. If I want to mention some cool things you'll find on these STs, if you go into settings, there's an ambient light button, and you can kind of pick different colors, or pick a color I should say, and even you can use this slider and it will change your lighting inside. You see these transparent areas in the cup holders, in your door sills and your footwells. You have ambient lighting for the cabin for that stuff. Very cool there. And then I think one of the last ball drop moments is you have massage seats in these Explorers. So if you go over here to massage, you have driver and passenger, and you have some options here. As now I'm getting massage while I'm talking to y'all, so I will not complain about that. Looking to the roof, to the sky, just everything just seems a lot nicer. It sounds silly, but it all is a lot nicer and better put together than the previous gen. So I'm going to turn this guy off. I'll pop the hood so you guys can see what's going on under there. And I will leave you be. I gotta open the door. Do one last little look here, even though the hood's a little ajar. Just a great looking fucking vehicle, excuse the language. And see the benefit of that ×2 release. You could just lift up the hood, don't even need to know where the flaps are or anything. But these STs, very, very cool. Very cool. I have no idea what I'm looking at personally, but I'm showing you. Other little things to mention with the STs are they're made of aluminum. So the aluminum construction not only saved weight on the platform, kind of like F-150, but all these body panels and stuff on the outside, they'll never rust. You know, so I think that's an inherent benefit if you're planning on. Of course, I left the I gotta pick that up, the stick. But anyways, really freaking impressive Explorer. Ford definitely did it right. I've driven a bunch of these and I love them. You know, they're very fun to drive. It doesn't even feel like an SUV sometimes. You know, it's like a truck that can sit people on steroids. So definitely recommend. I'm going to be working on more videos, and I thank all y'all for watching. Time codes, of course, will be below. Any type of reference information for me, I probably plug my my email below. I do it all here. I'm a Ford guy, Ford salesman, blah blah blah. So definitely like doing this stuff, like showing it off. But bear with me too, because I ain't perfect, but I'm just trying to, you know, do something else. It's been a little bit slow because of what's going on with the COVID stuff. I'm in the back in the body shop area. It's been slow, so this is kind of just me trying to do something a little bit different. Well, there's a million other channels, as I keep on being told, but whatever. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.